This morning I want to speak to you on the subject, nevertheless. And my text is found in the 5th chapter of Luke's Gospel, the 5th verse. And Simon answered, Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at thy work I will let down the net. If there's one thing in life that we all dread, it's failure. There's hardly another experience in all the world that is so misery-making as the experience of failure. A little boy, for example, fails in school, and he's shattered. All his friends in the past are laughing and singing on their way home, full of the joy of success. And their happiness only intensifies his pain and despair. The experience crushes the life out of him. He runs away from the other children, flings himself down on the grass, and cries and cries and cries. Failure haunts some people. They seem programmed to fail. I remember reading about a man who went to a counselor for help. He said to the counselor, "Can you tell me why I'm so dumb? Why do I do so many stupid things?" It wasn't that he was lacking in IQ or education. Indeed, he had a high IQ and he was a university graduate from a great university with honors as well. He was a hard worker. But somehow he couldn't hold a job. He'd had 6 jobs in 10 years. He'd studied and worked and applied himself, but somehow he just didn't have whatever it takes to make a go of things. He was a failure, feeling helpless and hapless and hopeless. I've known ministers who are spiritual men, highly educated, well-motivated, but wherever they go, they end up in trouble. They have to move from church to church to church, but every 2 or 3 years. Some of them have left behind a whole string of damaged congregations. They worked and struggled and persevered, but all to no avail. Failure is the one thing that must be stamped upon the record of their ministry. Jimmy Carter was at one time President of the United States. Now, many historians and political pundits think that he was a failure in the White House. But if he was a failure as president, it was not because he lacked resources of mind and heart, for he was a brilliant man. Nor did he fail for a lack of hard work. It is said of him that he worked long and hard and diligently. And yet, in the eyes of the American people, he failed. And he became one of the very few presidents who was not elected to a second term of office. Failure, you see, is not restricted to just one class of men and women. There have been failures among all sorts of men and women. Among high-born and low-born. Among the educated and among the ignorant. What about ourselves? I make bold to say this morning that there is probably not one among us who has not tasted defeat at one time or another.